When you buy a beverage package, is the price per day include the last day of your cruise? Yeah, actually, Heather, when you buy a drink package, you're not actually paying per day, you're paying per night. And so, yes, that includes embarkation day and the last day of your cruise, disembarkation day. So there you go. That kind of makes up that last final day, if you will. But yep, absolutely. How big is Adventure of the Seas? Would you recommend I go on it? It's a Voyager class ship. So it's basically these days, it's a medium-sized ship / large ship. And I would recommend. I love Adventure of the Seas. It's absolutely fantastic. Went on adventure twice back in June. Loved it. Anthem of the Seas is coming here for May. Do you think all cruises in the UK will go ahead in May? Royal Caribbean change this? I mean, obviously, Chris, I can't predict the future. I certainly have no reason to believe as of right now anything will change in terms of those plans for Anthem and all the European deployments to go forward. You know, things change until they don't change, right? And the good news, Chris, is you may have noticed, is over the winter, a lot of ships sailing out of the UK have been able to go, whether it's P&O or some of the other UK brands that are out there. I know our good friend Emma from Emma Cruises was on a cruise over Christmas, and it was like a 12-night cruise. She had no problems. So I would imagine, yes, the answer is yes until you're told otherwise. I would imagine that'd be the case. We're selling February 13th through the Western Caribbean. What's the weather like? It's going to be warm. February is already, the tropics are always warm. Keep that in mind. Whatever happens here in the States, irrelevant. In the tropics, the Caribbean, it stays warm. Most of the day is going to be the humidity levels. And of course, the February is the dry season. So you likely won't get it as much rain as you might if you're going on the cruise in June per se. But it's a very comfortable time to go out there. So you should expect shorts and short sleeves. Does it get windy and cold at night? Depends on where your ship is and whatnot. But you'll be more comfortable than any. I would plan on this, Mike. I know what you're asking, trying to decide on clothing. I would pack mostly shorts and short sleeves. I'd pack, whatever you're going to be wearing for dinner, which maybe already be, jeans or pants or something like that. Maybe one sweater, and you can probably just wear that sweater on the airplane on your way down. But it's going to be warm. February, you already start getting some warmer trends in the tropics, certainly. I would expect temperatures in the 70s and 80s, to be perfectly honest with you. Will I be required to get a booster shot to continue cruising this year? As of right now, the answer is no. Could that change? Absolutely. We talked a little bit about this earlier in the broadcast, Taiwu, but I mean, listen, Royal has not said a word on it. I would have thought with Omicron that if they were going to do the booster shot requirement, they would have done it a while ago. So right now, I have no reason to believe that it's going to be required. Could that change? Yes. But like I said, right now, none of the major cruise lines here in the U.S. have required it. I know there's some in like Europe and the very small ones, like 2-week cruises, something like that. I don't usually count them as a leading indicator of anything, but I don't have anything again, no reason to believe as of right now anyway. Planning to do an Alaska cruise, can't make a decision to which ship, Quantum or Ovation. All things being equal, and if you've never done either, and you've never done Alaska, I'd pick Ovation. Ovation is just a newer ship. There's just an advantage there, but Quantum is going to be cheaper. They both go out of Seattle. I imagine Quantum will be cheaper. But they're both great. Quantum class ships. It's just Ovation has a little more, it's a little newer. It's a little nicer because it's newer. I might lean in that direction a little bit, but they're both fantastic ships. I know that Becky Menken in our chat loves the Quantum class. How's the Wi-Fi on Odyssey? For a work from home setup looking for a transatlantic. Odyssey's Wi-Fi is fantastic. It's it has the true high speed. So I would imagine you to be able to do your work from there. I did some work while I was on Odyssey of the Seas. So the answer is, yeah, you should be good. You should be covered. I mean, transatlantic can be a little, you're literally across the Atlantic, but Odyssey's is pretty good. Sailing on Symphony May. Is St. Maarten Airport excursion worth it? St. Maarten Airport excursion. So the Maho Beach is the beach they're talking about. That's that beach in St. Maarten where you stand on the beach and the airplanes come in and they like land on right on top of your on top of your heads. It's really cool. It's a tourist trap. It is. You're just literally, it's a sliver of beach right against the airport fence, and you're just waiting for airplanes to come by. It's not the nicest beach in all of St. Maarten. It's not terrible, but there are far better beaches. You're really there because you're waiting for airplanes to go. It's a tourist trap. However, I've been there because I had to get there myself. It's something, I think it is worth doing at least once. Why not? It's fun. Just keep in mind, there is zero shade over there. So I don't know. You're going in May. It's going to be hot. Pack sunscreen. Hope you're not, if you burn easily, put on lots of sunscreen, maybe get a rash guard to protect yourself. Anyway, but it's a fun tourist trap because when the airplanes do come, it's really cool. So personally, I would just take a taxi over there. That way, when you're done, you're like, all right, been there, done that. You can immediately go on the taxi and go on your own way. But it's called Maho Beach, Maho. If you want to book it on your own, it's very easy. It's a very short drive from where your cruise ship docks. You can even just tell the driver in the taxi, bring me to the airport beach. They know exactly what you're talking about. What's the best source to find non-Royal Caribbean excursions? It depends on the port. There's a couple places I would recommend. Number one, Resort for a Day. If you're looking for a day pass, that's usually a good resource. Number two, there's a number of pre-COVID, there were other websites like what was it, like Shore Excursion Fox? I don't know. Google is your friend, Jason. What I do, I've done this many times, is I just Google, port name. So you're going to the Bahamas, you're going to Nassau, because Coco Key obviously is Royal Caribbean. So you type in Nassau excursions or tours or something like that. And then kind of the other thing you could do, Jason, is go to the Royal Caribbean blog message board. It's very self-serving, obviously. But we have a shore excursion forum in there and search in there for some good options. What is your number one recommended Royal Caribbean cruise for families? 7-night cruise on an Oasis or Quantum class ship. Either one. 7-night cruise on a Quantum or Oasis class ship is always a good choice for families. Plenty to do on board. Good itinerary, good length, just enough time to have a good mix of sea days and port days. That would absolutely be what I would recommend right there. Is the Royal Caribbean credit card a good idea? That's a loaded question. How much time we got? 10 seconds. Okay. I think there are better travel credit cards out there. If your goal is to earn credit card points with the sole purpose of earning onboard credit, a free cruise, then the Royal Caribbean credit card is the only game in town. That's the only way you can do it. The problem is if you may want to use your rewards for other things like airfare or Amazon purchases or, other benefits, there are better travel credit cards out there. Not only just for the rewards, but other travel credit cards are actually better in terms of rewarding you with more points for the same amount of money. So it's really a question of like, do you really just want Royal Caribbean stuff with it, or do you want a better travel credit card? I personally don't own the Royal Caribbean credit card. Again, I just think there are better credit cards out there. But if you want to get free cruises or even just onboard credit from your credit card purchases, yeah, it delivers on that promise exactly. So, do I need an appointment for the Royal Caribbean eMed COVID test? Nope. Neela, basically, when you have the test in front of you and you're ready to take it, you just open up on your phone. I'd recommend doing it on your phone, not the computer. Open up the Navica app or go to emed.com. Say, I'm ready to test. And then that's it. You're good to go. You do not need an appointment. How excited am I for the new Wonder of the Seas? I love new ships, and I cannot lie. And new Oasis class, very excited for this. It's going to be really, really amazing. Am I able to change a cruise if it's before final payment? Yes. I mean, you don't actually change your cruise, meaning I assume what you mean, Kim, you want to change either the ship, the sail date, or both. You can't really transfer per se. What you're really doing is canceling and rebooking. And yes, you can do that provided you booked a refundable cruise fare. If you book non-refundable cruise fare, you could still do this. Traditionally, there'd be a penalty with it, but under the Cruise with Confidence program, you can get a 100% future cruise credit with no penalty and then do that. So that's essentially what you're doing. But yes, before final payment date, you don't have to worry about that. With Cruise with Confidence, Kim, the lines are blurred a little bit because you could change your mind, as you know, up to 48 hours before your cruise and cancel and then rebook. But there really isn't a true mechanism for taking a cruise on a reservation that you have on this ship and this date and moving it to the same ship and different date or some other. There's no transfer option, if that makes sense. But to answer your question again, before a final payment date, if you have a refundable cruise fare, you absolutely just get your money back, and then you're free to book something else. Otherwise, if you have non-refundable cruise fare, I would advise you to book under or cancel under Cruise with Confidence, and then be able to rebook and then either put cash down first and then put that FCC on later on, or wait for the FCC. I'd also point out sometimes travel agents have a little more luck with moving things around there, but I can't explain their voodoo and their black magic that they do. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.